While I was researching white-collar crime, I noticed that almost all of the stories shared a common thread. Elephants are considered one of the world's most dangerous creatures, in part because we considered them to be completely erratic. We began to wonder whether some of these cases were actually vengeance. Because a village might not remember murdering a young elephant's mother, but an animal with an excellent memory and a 60-year lifespan very well might. But I've gotten a lot of feedback that elephant justice sounds like this, so I'm going with an acronym instead. Tenacious underdogs seeking karma. These are not people out for blood, but they will go any length to make sure that the criminals that wronged them end up behind bars. Turns out there are a lot of these, so who's up first? This is a very high-profile case of science for sale. Let me know the timestamp when you realized what it was. The man formerly known as Dr. Wakefield did everything he could to profit off of his falsified research. He started life with every opportunity. He was a medical legacy. Both Wakefield's parents and 2 grandparents were doctors, one of whom was world famous. His family had money and was willing to spend it on getting him the best education possible. Meanwhile, he was tall, attractive, and wildly charismatic. He became head boy and captain of his rugby team. Despite being proud and overly ambitious, his intellect was only really average at best. And in that sense, he was a bit of a failure, especially in comparison to all of the famous doctors in his family. So he ended up capitalizing on a lot of second bests. He became a gastroenterologist, which at the time was not prestigious. He ended up at a second-rate hospital. For a hospital to improve, they need additional funding. Funding is provided through research that is published in good journals. Journals move up in ranking by publishing new and shocking findings. The Wakefield found a field of study, a hospital, and a journal that were willing to look the other way at his bad science in order to get ahead themselves. This was the 80s and 90s, so what was hot right then? Viruses. They caused AIDS, and it turns out they also caused ulcers. This was a shocking find for the medical community, who had previously dismissed ulcers as being caused by stress and diet. This finding would eventually get 2 gastroenterologists a Nobel Prize. So Wakefield decided to replicate this. Nobody understood irritable bowel disorders. Brian Deere says Wakefield sat down with a dictionary of viruses until he got to measles. In his biography of Wakefield, he says this: "Courage in science isn't about proving yourself right. It's in your efforts to prove yourself wrong," and that is where Wakefield went astray. Wakefield never cared about the truth. He wanted to profit from being a prophet. And it was Brian Deere who reluctantly decided he had to go after the anti-vaxxer.